Welcome to the deep dive. Let's get right into it. We all have those times, right? Where life just feels, well, brutally unfair. A real gut punch.
Painful. Overwhelming.
Yeah. So we've been looking at this video by Mel Robbins. When nothing seems to be going your way, here's exactly what to do.
Yeah, it's pretty direct stuff.
And our mission here really is to pull out the practical steps, the things you can actually use when you're facing those moments.
It's not just about feeling bad, it's about finding a path forward, finding some agency.
Exactly, finding your footing again.
And what jumps out right away is how she starts. Just boom, life isn't fair.
Simple, right. Almost obvious, maybe.
Yeah, but saying it, acknowledging it, there's real power there. It sort of lets you off the hook from trying to make it make sense.
Right, you stop fighting that fundamental reality.
You can just start dealing with how it feels.
And she doesn't just leave it there, does she? She gives all these examples.
Oh yeah, a whole range. Big stuff like, losing your home, losing a parent.
Climate change even, these huge global things.
Right. But also the really personal everyday struggles, like dealing with constant breakouts or body image issues.
Pain of infertility, trying to buy a house right now. Ugh.
Exactly. It covers so much ground. And that's important, I think. It shows this isn't some unique failing on your part. It happens.
It resonates because unfairness hits us all, just maybe in different ways.
Totally. And that leads into this fascinating point she brings up, referencing Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett.
Oh yeah, this was interesting.
The idea that feeling sad or overwhelmed or, even depressed when things are genuinely awful, that's not a sign you're broken.
It's a sign you're mentally healthy.
Kind of. It's your system reacting appropriately to genuinely bad circumstances.
Oh, wow. It's actually a huge relief to hear, isn't it?
It really is, because we often beat ourselves up for feeling bad.
Yeah, like pull yourself together.
Exactly. But these feelings are a healthy response. They're signals. Trying to just stuff them down, that's often where the real trouble starts.
Okay, so acknowledging the unfairness, validating the feelings, that makes sense. It sets the stage.
It does. And it leads right into her first actionable step, which is give yourself a deadline.
A deadline. Okay. For feeling bad? Sounds a little weird.
A little counterintuitive, maybe, like you're scheduling grief.
Yeah.
But it's not about suppression. It's about intention. It's like saying, okay, I'm allowing this. I'm creating space for these feelings for a set amount of time.
So you're not trying to rush past it, but you're also not planning to stay stuck there forever.
Precisely. You give yourself permission to feel it fully, but with an endpoint in mind for that phase.
She mentioned that UC Irvine study, right? After 9/11?
Yeah, that was really telling. People who actively kind of managed their emotional processing, talked about it, sought support, didn't just suppress, they generally healed faster.
Whereas suppressing it led to longer term issues like PTSD, anxiety.
Exactly. So this deadline idea is about active but time-bound processing.
And she gives some guidelines, some research-based timelines.
Yeah, rough guidelines, like around 11 weeks maybe to start feeling a bit better after a breakup.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6 months to 2 years to really settle into a new normal after a huge loss like a death or losing your home.
And that advice about not making big decisions for a year after someone dies.
Right. These are just rules of thumb, obviously. Everyone's different.
Sure.
But the key thing is the act of setting a date. It's a mental shift. It says, this feeling is valid, but it's not permanent.
I see. It introduces an element of control almost.
Yeah. And what about for those ongoing things like the negative self-talk, body image stuff?
Yeah, for that, she suggests something much faster. Like, okay, deadline is 5:40 p.m. today. Stop the negative talk then.
That's immediate, very actionable, like drawing a line in the sand with yourself.
Okay, so you acknowledge, you set a deadline. What's next?
Yeah.
Because just waiting for a date might not be enough.
Right. That brings us to step 2. Accept what has happened.
Acceptance. Okay, this feels like a big one, maybe the hardest one.
It can be, yeah. Because it sounds like condoning it or giving up.
Exactly, like saying the unfairness is okay.
But that's the crucial distinction Robbins makes. And it echoes a lot of wisdom traditions, like Stoicism or Buddhism. Acceptance isn't agreement.
It's not saying it's right.
No.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging the reality. This is what happened. This is the situation right now. Wishing it were different, fighting reality itself that just keeps you stuck in suffering.
Like banging your head against a brick wall?
Pretty much. You focus energy on what you can influence, which is usually your response, not changing the past.
She used that Rumi quote, didn't she? About not resisting changes.
Let life live through you.
Yeah.
And her let them theory. Let things be as they are. Let people be as they are without needing to fight it constantly.
Let them.
And her analogy, well, it's memorable. The poop sandwich.
Okay, tell me about the poop sandwich.
Basically, you don't have to eat it. You acknowledge it's there, this awful thing happened, but you don't have to consume it, internalize it, let it define everything.
You acknowledge its presence, its reality, without letting it poison you.
Yes. Acceptance allows reality to be what it is, so you can then decide how to move forward from that reality. It unlocks the next step.
Okay. Acknowledged, deadline set, reality accepted. But you could still feel pretty lost, just sitting there accepting.
True. Acceptance alone isn't the end game. And that's where step 3 comes in, which is about regaining that sense of agency.
Okay.
Make a plan.
Action.
Yes. Even when things feel totally out of control, Robbins argues there's almost always something you can do, some small corner you can influence.
So, like her examples, lost your job. The plan is finding a new one. Money troubles. Plan is learning to manage it better.
Exactly. It's about identifying where you do have power, even if it feels limited, and then creating concrete steps.
And she has a specific hack for this, right? Especially now.
Yeah, leveraging the resources we have, the internet, YouTube, podcasts, books.
Yeah.
And she specifically highlights using AI like ChatGPT.
Using ChatGPT as a life coach to generate a plan.
Sort of, yeah. Like, okay, I'm facing this unfair situation. Give me a 30-day plan with one small action I can take each day.
Wow. That actually makes planning feel way less daunting, especially when you're overwhelmed.
It makes it accessible. It breaks it down. Because inaction, feeling helpless, that's really dangerous. A plan, even a tiny one, gives you hope.
It gives you something to do, a sense of movement.
Right. And she really believes someone, somewhere, has overcome something similar or worse. The knowledge is out there. You just need a plan to find and apply it.
Okay, that makes sense. A plan provides direction, but there's still that lingering feeling maybe, that underlying why me, the unfairness of it all.
Absolutely. And that's where her final step comes in. Step 4, find meaning.
Find meaning. How does that work when things just feel senseless?
This is about the one thing that ultimately is always in your control, no matter what.
Which is?
Your attitude, your response. And she brings in Viktor Frankl here, Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, his story is just incredible. Surviving concentration camps.
Unimaginable suffering. And yet, he found meaning within it. Thoughts of his wife, imagining giving lectures in the future. He focused on what gave his internal life purpose, even when his external reality was horrific.
That quote is so powerful. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing.
The last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances.
Chills. It really puts things in perspective. Even in the absolute worst, there's still that inner choice.
That fundamental freedom. And the other Frankl quote she uses, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves.
So it loops back to internal control. If you can't change the external, change the internal response, change your attitude, find meaning in how you respond.
Exactly. It's about realizing that no matter how unfair the world feels, you decide how you show up. You decide what meaning you make of it. That's where your ultimate power lies.
Okay, so let's quickly recap those 4 steps from Mel Robbins. When life feels unfair.
1, acknowledge it's unfair. And yeah, it's okay to feel bad about it. Your feelings are valid.
2, give yourself a deadline. Intentionally process those feelings, but set a time frame.
3, accept the reality. Not agreement, just acknowledging what is so you can move forward.
4, make a plan. Find something, anything you can control and take action. Use the resources available.
And finally, step 5, really woven through it all. Find meaning by choosing your attitude. It's always yours.
It's a really practical framework, actually. It doesn't shy away from the pain, but keeps pointing towards agency.
It's a reminder that even when things feel completely stacked against you, you still have choices. You still have the capacity to navigate it.
Definitely. So a final thought for you listening. Think about a situation in your own life right now that feels deeply unfair. How could consciously choosing your attitude towards it, even the parts you can't control, actually change your experience?
Yeah, how might that shift things, not just now, but looking ahead? What could meaning look like for you right in the middle of that struggle?
Something to definitely think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.